Hello, welcome back to Twilight of the Gods. I'm Chris Cluey. With me is Justin Nugent,
Good afternoon.
one of our other developers, and we will be talking about the game from last week in which I was playing Reader of Portents and Justin was playing Mars. So in this game, it started out fairly well for me. I got some initial early pressure on with my Child of Anansi, and I was able to hit Justin's life stack once and do a couple points of damage to him. But then Justin was able to kind of turn it around with his Mischievous Nymph.
The Mischievous Nymph obviously has enough defense to block. And then I kept putting on the pressure with removal spells each time that Chris would drop something that would be pretty big.
Yeah, so once we got into the mid-game, I was really starting to feel the pressure because I thought I was in a good spot. I was starting to get out some bigger creatures like a Nemean Lion and a Fusion's Emissary and a Magi of the Deep Desert, and they all kept getting killed by Justin's schemes, which was super annoying.
Yeah, I really like Night Raid.
Yeah, no, Night Raid, as you may have heard in that video, I am not a big fan of Night Raid when it's being used against me. But yeah, no, it was definitely, in the mid-game, I was struggling because, my creatures weren't able to stay on the field, and Justin also got Attila out, which is not only a 5/5 creature, which means it's going to be hitting for a lot of damage, but it also allows him to re-summon a scheme from his discard stack for free at the start of his turn. So that's something that can be potentially very, very dangerous. And if you noticed during the video, one of the things I was really focusing on was using a lot of my Aether Rips for removal to get his red schemes out of his discard stack, so that way he wasn't able to cast them twice.
That was really hurting because there were a lot of times when I would cast a red scheme, Night Raid, or any of the other ones, and realize, okay, well, if he pops out a creature next turn, I'll be able to get rid of it at the beginning of my turn.
Yeah, and so that to me, I knew that was, if I was going to have a chance at this game, I had to keep Attila from recasting any of those schemes. Unfortunately, I was able to do that. I had enough cards and enough removal to do that. And so once we got into the end game, really kind of the turning point was when I dropped my second Magi of the Deep Desert, and Justin tried to Night Raid it again, and that was where I knew, okay, I need to sacrifice in order to prevent this from going off, because I can't afford to let Attila hit me again. I need to get a blocker on the field, and I need to be able to start putting some more pressure on him as opposed to just sitting back and taking all these hits.
When you countered the Night Raid, I knew that was the turning point because I really needed to get rid of the ability for you to restore constantly.
Yeah, no, it was, and that's another thing to point out is that in my deck, in my green deck, there was a lot of restoring that was going on through Dust Devils, the Requiem effects, as well as just even putting a Magi on the field allowed me to restore 3 each time. So I think I ended up restoring like 15 or 18 cards throughout the course of that game, and it was just in small chunks here and there, but if Attila's hitting you for 5 and then you restore for 3, well, that's only a 2 damage net, which really isn't that bad.
15 to 18 cards is right there, a third of your life total.
Yeah, no, it's a significant amount. And then the game ended with pretty much the standard green Reader of Portents where, okay, I'm going to use my deity power to set off all these Requiem effects and do a bunch of obliterate damage. And really as a green player, that's kind of your goal, is to get your discard stack to a point where you have a bunch of threats in there, because then your opponent either has to attack your discard stack to try to get rid of them, which allows you time to get more creatures on the field because they're not hitting your life stack, or if they're unable to hit your discard stack, then you can set up for that big wombo combo turn where you just set off all those triggers and they have no choice but to sack out, and then they're pretty much done.
I had one shot to sack out, and after that I had no other way of stopping anything.
Right, so you want to, as a green player, you really just get that pressure on, force them to sack out so then they can't stop all of your destroy effects from going off. So anyways, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the game, and we will be back next week with more Twilight of the Gods.